Hello and welcome again to another episode of Anime Splash. In Anime Splash, we look at the first 3 episodes of an anime, and then based off of those first 3 episodes, we decide whether or not we want to continue watching the anime or not. So I'm Neal Trotter.
I'm Ricky Morris.
And this time we watch an anime is called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So we're going to start with a plot breakdown by Ricky.
Alright, this anime is actually based off a popular manga series. It's been around for a while. There's OVAs, movie stuff, and video games, stuff like that. And this anime starts off with the first story arc, if you're familiar with the series. And it centers on the main character, Joseph Joestar, or as everyone calls him, JoJo. And he's like this rich kid, you know, he's living the good life and everything. But because his father had a life debt with this other guy that you know, sort of found him after an accident and everything, they taken this new guy called Dio Brando. That's the son of the guy that saved his father. But and then, you know, Dio's like a huge jerk to JoJo. He's you know, making his life a living hell, you know, because he wants the family fortune and everything. He turns his father against JoJo, his friends, like everyone, and you know, just eventually JoJo, you know, has enough of it, and you know, they fight and everything, and you know, JoJo like surprises Dio and, you know, manages to beat him and stuff like that. And you know, I would say more, but you know, there's, you know, a bit, like, I want to avoid that, some spoilers, so. But, you know, there's like a lot to the story. It goes in a, you know, in a direction that you might not be expecting if you're not familiar with the series.
Yep, so there's a lot of things to say about this one. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The bizarre part really says it all. Now, Ricky, he doesn't want to say a lot of it because, yeah, this anime goes in various directions, you know, all different paths, and you would think like, oh, not one of those, but no, they do it in a classic way where it's like the old school talk, you know. It reminds me of like old radio shows like The Shadow, things like that, where, you know, they go on these like little miniature adventures, and of course they got the characters that are you know, trademarks of the show, and they got their personalities. But it looks like, now I only saw 3 episodes, but within those 3 episodes there was all types of various things happening, and you can tell based off of just the presentation they're going to be doing all types of stuff. So definitely there's a lot of adventure, and I guess, you know, bizarre is a word to use. I would say more unpredictable, or yeah, I guess that's what bizarre means, or just various situations that are going on, that's cool. That's cool. So it's not one of those animes that, you know, just tries to confuse you with taking you off these wild directions. You know, the characters are the same, and you always know, you know, JoJo's there and his rivals and partners, but it's just different circumstances, and that makes the show pretty cool. Now, like another thing Ricky said is this is based off a popular manga. I didn't know that, but that's obvious. The first time I actually heard about JoJo's Bizarre Adventures I believe it was a Dreamcast game, because it
was like a game for the Dreamcast and the PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
And I believe there was an RPG for the NES or the SNES, but I can't remember. But, yeah.
I see. Well, I had many hardcore Dreamcast fans. Like, they're super hardcore. I think Dreamcast is the best system ever. And they always talk about that game. Oh, you know, Dreamcast was so cool because it had JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. You know, that game was, it was a great game. It was incredible. I never played that game before, but I always heard about it. So I was interested. I was like, I wonder what this anime is going to be about, because I always heard about that game and my friends who were Dreamcast fans. But there it is. But you can tell definitely is a popular manga, because they do that whole comic book presentation style. You know, they got the words that pop up, you know, on the screen representing, you know, either describing what's going on or just like sound effects. They're in Japanese, but you know, you got that whole thing. Kind of like 1960s Batman. What's his name? I forgot his name. And it doesn't matter. Adams, or I forgot his name.
The guy that wrote the comics?
The guy that played Batman in 1960.
Oh, West something.
Yeah, Adam West.
Adam West.
Adam West Batman, that's what it reminds me. It's got that presentation, but it's a little bit more, it's not that cheesy. But it is a little bit cheesy, but it's not, you can tell like the cheesiness is not like crazy cheesy like the Adam West Batman. But they do is a little bit cheesy, but they do it on purpose because that's the style, that's that comic book style. Because all comic books are, I mean, many popular comic books are a little cheesy just because they're so over the top action packed, and this has definitely got some over the top action. So it's a little bit cheesy on purpose, but it's not overly cheesy. Well, so there's a lot of yelling in this anime, which you know that harkens to the whole cheesiness and the over topness, which is that's cool. But you know, there's a lot of people making outbursts and screaming, which you know is a lot. And that just tells you there's a lot of action going on and a lot of revenge and I'm gonna get you and you know, a lot of swearing type of like, you know, I'm gonna do an oath to get my revenge type. You know, it's all that like, you know, and there's the classic villains in here that do that. They you know, JoJo has his rival who's like the classic villain rival. There's some friends or like partners that he acquires, comrades that you can tell they're like the classic characters that you it kind of reminds me, like I said before, of those old radio shows and those old early television shows. So they did that on purpose. It takes place in the 1800s in the England thing. So you got that whole that thing going on. I'm just gonna say the whole Masterpiece Theater type of setting. All that.
I want to say Victorian, but I don't know if that's right. So.
Yeah, possibly. That whole thing. I mean, it's pretty good anime. It's pretty good. It's got a lot of action. The story is not. It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty decent. You know, it's got. You know, it's varied. You know, you don't stay on one thing for too long. There's a lot of like. There's a lot of action. The only thing that is just me personally, I'm just gonna say just off the bat, you know, I would not continue watching this anime. It's a good anime, but for me, if I was like a 12-year-old boy, this is the type of stuff I used to like when I was a little kid. I used to love this type of stuff. Very macho, action, beat 'em up, you know, rivals, you know, bad guys that heroes really dislike, you know, heroes that you love to hate type of thing. You know, this is the type of stuff I really liked when I was a little kid. Nowadays, I kind of like things that are more complex, a little more complicated. So I kind of thought, you can tell it's kind of geared toward a younger audience, not like little kids, but adolescents, like people in their young teens or something. It's a little geared toward that. So I would not continue watching it, but it's really good. If I was a little kid, I would definitely continue watching it. But Ricky, you said you would continue watching.
Yeah, I just like how straightforward it is, like the characterizations and all that. And but even then, like based on the way the story plays out, like it's going like something, you know, really bizarre, and you know that has me interested. You know, I want to see more. Like, how bizarre is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
It's gonna be bizarre. Another thing that it has, yeah. So yeah, they got a lot of. They have this. And it centers around this mask, and it kind of reminds me of the. It's like the artifact, like the mysterious artifact. Again, like harkens back to those old school type of adventures. Where it's like this mysterious artifact. What does it do? You know, I'm doing research about it. Yeah, Jones style almost, but even further back. So you even just got that throwback. Just all this. So yeah, you got a lot of bizarre adventures centered around these plot devices that. And it's pretty good. Now I see what this whole hype about JoJo's Bizarre, because I've heard JoJo's Bizarre Adventures before, but I never knew about it. People talked about it, and I guess just now or this year they're finally making an official anime of it, or is this a remake? Or?
It's like this is like an official anime, but like before they made OVAs, like the entire story is like it has several different story arcs that take place over like several generations of the Joestar family. So so like the OVAs are like, I think they're like they start off in the third story arc and stuff like that. So and there's also like a movie as well that takes that pretty much does like the first part of the manga. So yeah, and I believe that the anime is going to cover the entire thing. I'm not sure, but yeah, but you know, it started off at the beginning, so maybe it'll, you know, do everything.
Yeah, if it's successful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, actually, you know what? Now that reminds me, it's actually this anime. The manga is like 25th anniversary, so that's why they're doing this.
Aha! There it is. This is a celebration. It definitely, yeah, it seems like it's a popular franchise, and I can see why it's a popular franchise. It's pretty good, but it's a little, I don't mean inside, well, I use the word juvenile, it sounds like an insult, but it's just, I need something a little bit more. But if you like a lot of adventure, because it's packed full of adventure, and it's got some really, not interesting, but thrilling bad guys, that you kind of like hate them for, like, they're very straightforward, like, yeah, I hate that guy. They're not like, you can't really sympathize with these people, although you kind of like a little bit, because the dude had a kind of messed up background, but ultimately, it's not like you're not overly thinking about this. You're just watching it for the thrilling. It has romance, it has adventure, it's got friendship, rivalry, it's got all types of stuff. Love, all different dimensions of love. Love between father and son, love between boy and girl, all types of. And it takes place in this bizarre type of setting where it's like, it's Victorian era, but they got all these crazy things too. And if you're into that, the way I described it is like, oh, hey, let me watch this right now. But it's kind of for kids, though. That's the thing. That's the only thing, I think.
Well, it just plays everything straight. Like, the bad guy is he's evil, and there's really no redeeming qualities to him. Like, even though he does have like a messed up background, like the things that he does like really don't make up for it.
Yeah, if he was really nice, he would overcome that stuff and become a nice person.
But the things that he does is like, this guy's just born to be evil. He's always going to be evil, no matter what.
There you go.
Yeah.
I could see this anime being shown at one of the Saturday morning cartoons. They just got censored of blood, which they could easily do. So I could see that happen. But this could definitely be a contender for that. I see. So there you go, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's pretty good. It's not a bad one. So you might want to check that out. Until next time, keep watching. Leave the comments. Subscribe. We talk about, and this is Anime Talk. And if you're an anime fan, you might like this. I'll see you next time.